become dramatic. The Christians who prevailed made the noise, so much that moderns were long persuaded that there had been a mighty struggle, pagans versus Christians, somewhere on the scale of Ali versus Fraser or the 30 Years' War. It just wasn't so. Yes, the variety of religious stories, beliefs, and practices in that old world was simply too vast to comprehend, so their disappearance is all the more remarkable. Altars in homes, shrines on street corners, and public ceremonies in the open air made ancient Rome more akin to Kathmandu during festival season than anything we could imagine in modern Europe. No one could inventory that world in one book, and I will not try. The modern scholars who bring together the evidence for what Greeks and Romans and Egyptians and Jews and Phoenicians and Scythians and Carthaginians and Thracians and Gauls did about their gods deserve vast respect for taking on an endless and thankless task. The story of what happened when those gods passed is easier to grasp and colorful enough. It's also important for us today, and easy to get wrong. Sure, everybody knows, though always be careful of what everybody knows, that there were once pagans and Christians, people of the old and people of the new, engaged in that mighty struggle that only one side could win. The new prevailed. Conflict like that makes for great stories, and the pagan-Christian dust-up tale has been written repeatedly. But the passing of the gods who never existed needs a different kind of story. It's not a question of who vanquished whom, but of just what changed when and where. Remember, the story of Christianity's rise takes a long time, from Jesus' lifetime to the Emperor Constantine's conversion, 3 centuries. The traditional way to think about it is to imagine fervent Christians adding to their number, each generation larger than the last, carrying a pristine Christian message to the world. On that model, when the last Roman citizen was baptized, everyone had become what the earliest Christians had been. The world doesn't work that way. Whatever core ideas Christianity sought to transmit, every baptism brought someone unshaped by Christianity into the fold, mixing their ideas and expectations with what they found. The pristine essence of Christianity acquired a lot of old-fashioned baggage along the way. When Christians talked about their pure and unique gift of illumination for a dark world, who really needed to be persuaded? The storytelling is itself important. For us, religion comes with history, and history matters. No classical Greek or Roman writer ever thought to address the history of religion because religion was woven seamlessly into everyday life, the kind of life that has no history to speak of. Our modern historians can make history for everything, to be sure, but when they reconstruct a story for Greco-Roman religion, they tell a story the ancients didn't themselves know. And when they do so, they are in cahoots with the story-making Christians of the 4th century. So the first half of this book is about that ancient world of religion that had no history. The second part will show what happened when religion acquired a history in the 4th century CE. The apparent victory of the Christians, then, was one upheaval among many. The fundamental notion of divine power itself had grown so large in the hands of various philosophers and cults that it overpowered the small, quarrelsome gods of old. Earlier practices, like blood sacrifice and augury, had faded so much from favor that they almost didn't need abolishing. Fresh ideas are always exciting, and we'll see how Judaism reinvented itself for a new world, while Christianity discovered its ability to take advantage of unearned good luck and make itself powerful in a way that crossed boundaries between empires and nations, between genders, and between classes. To go back to the world of the gods and their worshippers, we must learn to do without a coherent story. Indeed, we must forget much of what we take for granted about religion, like its intimate connection to questions of ethical conduct. And we will discover that what people thought about gods was much less important than what they did about them. All religion was local. Even when you found the same gods in different places, meaningful connection between worshippers in one place and those in another was rare. When we visit Delphi in these pages, we'll come as close as we can to a single location, drawing together believers from many places. But even that was more Times Square than Vatican. For the most part,